So I've been seeing that some Republicans, including vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance, have been calling for Joe Biden to be removed by the 25th Amendment or saying he should resign or something along those lines. Saying that, well, if he's unfit to run, he's unfit to be president. And I know I had said something similar, but I was looking at it from a give Kamala Harris the strength to run perspective, and that the Democrats were kind of saying that by saying, because they were focusing on his health, etc. But why are Republicans calling for Joe Biden to step aside or to be replaced? Well, I think I've got an answer, at least in part. It's not that they want the first woman of color to be president. It's not that they want her to be the 47th president because it would screw over Donald Trump and all of his merchandise that he's already made, etc. No, it's because with her being vice president, right? The vice president, while being part of the administration, doesn't have a lot of power. She can lay anything negative policy-wise at the feet of Joe Biden, because ultimately the decision is his. Whether she supports his decision on whatever it is, publicly she would support it, privately maybe not. That's up to her, and we would never know that. But she can lay any of those decisions at the feet of Joe Biden and say, well, Joe made that decision. That was his decision to back that piece of legislation, or that was his policy. So any of the negative that they could campaign on, she can put at his feet and take none of the heat for. They don't want that. They want to be able to say, well, the economy is so bad, which it's not, but then blame Kamala Harris for it, when right now the credit for the economy goes to Joe Biden. This with unemployment or inflation, again, credit goes to Joe Biden. She doesn't take any of the blame they want to assign for anything. So they want her to be president so they can lay it at her feet, even though most of what they want to complain about happened still during the Biden presidency. That's part of it. The other part is that a chunk of the Republicans, even our elected officials, I don't know if they know how the Constitution works. I know some of them don't, based on the way they talk. But I see comments all the time saying, well, if Joe Biden resigns, then Speaker Johnson becomes vice president. No, he doesn't. If Joe Biden resigns the presidency, Kamala Harris will take the oath of office. She becomes president. And then she gets the option to pick her own replacement as far as vice president. And then a joint meeting of both houses would be held, and a simple majority would confirm the new vice president. And I think she could get there only because they only need like 3 Republicans or something like that to side with her out of the entirety of the House to confirm a new vice president. And I think there's enough sane Republicans to get to at least that number, so they could confirm a vice president just for the continuation of government. And her pick for vice president to replace herself, technically, when she would become president, would be whoever she chooses as her running mate, which they are in the process of doing. So I think that's 2 of the reasons why the Republicans are calling for Joe Biden to be forced out and Kamala to be made president. It's because they want to lay their complaints at her feet, when right now they have to blame Joe Biden. And then I think some of them want to be able to muddy the waters about who the vice president actually would be.